like sucking away.
Or just like if I was a chef at Hedonism, like I would definitely be like, oh my God, I hooked up with this amazing MILF from Iowa last night. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like you get off your shift.
I'll press the button.
Press the button, Evan.
I'm pressing the button.
Is your button pressed?
Yes, button is pressed. We are in business.
Okay, Rock Hard Caucus episode 220 is rolling. We're here to press your buttons, folks. Prepare to have your buttons pressed. Iowa's only podcast, pressing your buttons week after week.
I'm just thinking of that Chemical Brothers album, Push the Button.
I was thinking about Mystery Science Theater.
Oh, nice.
That's how they ended a lot of the first few season episodes. Press the button, Frank. Well, unfortunately, I'm going to do another one of these. There's a guy running for governor that just can't stop paying attention to him. He wants me to pay attention to him. He wants to drive me crazy. He's pressing my buttons every day. He shared a video on his own social media of a little clip, a well-shot clip. It's an interesting camera angle, like the over-the-shoulder thing with this guy.
Yeah, it's very artistic. Honestly, like, kind of reminds me of like a produced video for like SNL or something. Especially given the content. We'll get to it, I guess. Yeah.
So it's a clip from one of his town halls where an audience member is raising some concerns. And I don't want to spoil anything else, but just keep in mind the context here. Rob wants people to see this. He thinks that this is like an important moment at one of his campaign events that reflects well upon him and his campaign. So here's some guy at a town hall.
On both sides, you got some blonde little white girl saying, I don't care about Charlie Cook's kids on social media. You got Republican podcasters saying they just want to kill liberals.
Yeah.
What's your question?
I'm sorry.
No. You don't need to be sorry. We're all listening, and that's okay. Because the part of this is about democracy and letting everybody have a chance to be heard.
Okay, so it's just a 20-second clip there. I think he said Charlie Cook, by the way. That
he
guy.
Did say, yeah, Charlie Cook.
Some blonde little white girl on TikTok said she doesn't care about Charlie Cook's kids. Okay.
Okay, man.
I mean, that's not a very nice thing to say, I guess, but who is this person?
We're listening. We're listening to this man and his algorithm. We're listening to whatever he has seen in the last 24 hours, and it's really important for democracy. Yep.
He's really upset about the stuff he saw on his phone. Mm-hmm. And we all need to listen to it and have the same concerns.
And
as
really,
him.
aren't we all mad at stuff we saw on our phone?
Yeah, I guess so. I saw. Have you seen? I guess you might have seen this in bed before we started recording. There's a video going around of a guy, like a Trump guy, sort of chanting for Trump at the No Kings protest in Denver yesterday. And he's like trying to antagonize people, and then some kid steals his glasses and runs off, and the guy tries to chase him, and the guy falls right on his face on the street.
Oh man, I have not seen that, but that sounds excellent.
You will. If you spend enough time on your phone today, I bet you'll see it.
Okay.
And that didn't make me mad. It made me laugh. I mean, it's a very Schadenfreude type of joy, but it's pretty funny that guy got
sounds
hurt.
Like he kind of got what he was looking for.
Oh yeah, it's a really interesting video because it's like clearly this guy is very used to not being confronted ever, just like constantly being an asshole to people and nobody ever doing anything back. Mm-hmm. And he like can't believe that he is losing this encounter, He keeps pursuing the kid like into a large crowd of people who just like heard him shout a homophobic slur. He's real dumb. It's fun to watch. Anyway, Rob, I don't know if that's really democracy in action, is listening to a guy talk about how podcasters want to kill liberals.
Yeah, it's also funny because he's trying to be like, doing the both sides thing. But one of the guy's examples is Republican podcasters wanting to kill liberals. And the other is a blonde girl who doesn't care about Charlie Cook's kids.
Yeah, not equivalent.
I don't think so.
Not equivalent. And a shout out to the person at this town hall that was like, "What's your question?"
Yeah.
That takes real courage to speak up in the moment. What do you want us to care about here? More people need to be willing to do that. Despite what Rob says, like, no, don't shame him about rambling into the microphone and wasting all of our time. We're here to listen.
We're here to listen.
We're here to listen. All right, well, maybe we should talk about something more important, huh?
Okay.
Shout out to Tim Nelson, who's been posting a lot about this issue. The way that the Des Moines City Council is dealing with the homeless issue in your city has been really nasty to watch. They, of course, passed a camping ban. That was like the beginning of this year, I think it was. It's been a while now.
Not sure, honestly. I think it was last year.
Was it a whole year ago? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe if I read a little bit of this news article, we'll remember. It'll jog our memory. But this is the latest in what's going on in Des Moines. I'm reading from We Are Iowa. Des Moines city leaders split on proposed change to public camping ban. The Des Moines City Council voted on the second reading of a proposed change to its public camping ordinance. All but 2 members of the council voted to carry the motion forward. And so they're adding beds to the Central Iowa Shelter and Services, at least 25 beds, it says here. And the city will be providing $300,000 to the shelter and assigning Des Moines police officers to the shelter. So that's good, right? That's helping them.
A bit of a mixed bag.
Yeah. As a result of the shelter expansion, some members of the council suggested removing the affirmative defense component of the ordinance, which prohibits violators from being fined if the shelters are full or if they are unable to pay the ticket. So they passed this like anti-homeless measure, whenever it was.
It was September of last year.
Wow, that long ago. Okay.
Yep.
Which, if somebody has to live outside, we should be fining them for that egregious crime they're committing of not having a home that's inside to go to. That's a crime against the rest of us. So they must be fined for that. But there was like a little like caveat that was like, if the shelter is full and this person who obviously doesn't have money, then we won't fine them. And now that they're adding a few beds to the shelter, the council is like, well, now we can fine them, right? There's no more excuse.
25 beds. I don't think that's even close to like making up for like the amount of people who are becoming homeless in Central Iowa. Like it's been like rapidly increasing over the last several years. Yeah,
and that's not the only reason that somebody's not in the shelter, right? Is that they're full. There are other things. There are other barriers to overcome there.
Yes, such as the substance abuse stuff. Like they're not letting you into shelters unless you're like sober.
Right.
From what I understand.
Right. Councilmember Chris Coleman is among the council members in support of the amendment. He believes that the affirmative defense creates, quote, legal jeopardy for the law enforcement officials tasked with enforcing the ordinance. And they get a quote from him here. Again, Chris Coleman on the Des Moines City Council. Daily, I get notes from people that are frustrated that a year ago, the city took action, but the enforcement was pretty lax. A couple of us sat down with city staff. It really uncovered the fact that people were hesitant to aggressively help and deal with our homeless when they had this risk of liability.
Oh, aggressively helping? Is that what it is?
Yeah. If the help is aggressive, you may want to reconsider your methods. Like aggressively helping doesn't sound very positive to me.
Yeah. So you, city councilor, are mad that they're not being mean enough when they're enforcing these ordinances? Like, I mean, and I wonder who he is hearing from. He's hearing from like business owners. He's probably hearing from the
of course.
exile brewing lady.
Yeah. But he says daily he's getting notes. So yeah, he's very vague about who he was actually talking to. But it's like, I don't understand how like not not fining people who clearly can't pay the fines is preventing you from like trying to help them. It's not, right? Like the fine isn't help. Coleman added that the expanded capacity at CISS, Central Iowa Shelter and Services, guarantees shelter space for those experiencing homelessness, so they do not need to sleep outside. I don't see how it guarantees it. Like, it's still a finite amount of space, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes we have to encourage and push and pull them into shelters, and that's what we want to do, he said. I don't think you should push and pull people.
aggressively push and pull them.
That's what aggressive help looks like. Yeah, it's like physically assaulting people.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing is yet another example of how people in authority don't view unhoused people as people, like equal to themselves. It's very clear from the way that they talk about it that, like, this is a problem to be dealt with. It's not like these are people experiencing like much tougher times than I've ever had to deal with.
Yeah. We talked to the city staff and they're being like a little bit too humane in their approach to these people. They weren't like immediately resorting to like
punitive measures.
Punitive measures. Yeah. That's a problem, I guess.
Right.
Fucking asshole.
Yeah. This ordinance is actually not cruel enough. And that's, if we make it just slightly crueler, then the problem will be solved, perhaps.
We'll see, I guess.
It's really not, like, just basically, it's not logical at all that, like, we've expanded capacity at the shelter, and so now we can fine these people who, again, don't have the money to pay fines. It's still like a bullshit, nonsensical policy.
Absolutely.
But yeah, we should shout out, there are two members of the council who are opposed to this, Josh Mandelbaum and Mike Simonson, who have been consistently voting against changing the ordinance. It's the kind of thing where they have to read it 3 times in a meeting and vote on it every time to proceed. And I'll read Mandelbaum's quote here. If there are more folks who are experiencing homelessness and there's less capacity, even with the additional capacity now, we could still run into that same issue where there's not shelter space available and we are arresting or fining people. Which, yes, perhaps Josh has actually thought about the problem and like understands that this does not solve the issue and is not actually going to help anyone. So credit to Josh for that one. And the reason that I bring it up on today's episode is that the third reading of the proposed change of this ordinance is at tomorrow's city council meeting in Des Moines. Thanks again to Tim Nelson for shining a light on this over and over on social media. So if you live in Des Moines and you are free tomorrow night, the meeting is at 5 p.m. You have to sign up to speak. Like ahead of time. You have to register to speak at these city council meetings in Des Moines. I'll post the link in the episode, the full episode notes, but we're really getting this in under the wire because the deadline to sign up is 5 p.m. today, October 19th. So I'm sorry if we're getting this news to you too late, but you should at least go to the meeting and like be present for and witness the city council probably doing something very evil.
Yeah. Agreed.
Evan, I've got too much in my notes. Here's a short one. This is just something that caught my eye. Des Moines Register letters to the editor. The first one that they listed here, this was on October 11th. They published a few letters to the editor, and the headline on this one was, Americans want one thing, for their enemies to suffer. And that really got my attention. When I came to Tripoli nearly 50 years ago, is it Tripoli or Tripoli? I don't know how people say the name of that town. That's a really small town, right?
I mean, I think it's a big
Tripoli,
city
Iowa.
Yeah, okay, I was gonna say it's a big city in Libya.
Yeah, it's like 1,000 people, 1,200 people. When I came to Tripoli nearly 50 years ago, I noticed something in my conversations that perplexed me. At the time, John Deere was considered the golden goose, and getting a job there was considered a step toward an upper middle class lifestyle without the expense of a college degree. Is that a good metaphor? Like calling a big manufacturer employer in town the golden goose? What was the lesson of that? Like the golden goose, the old folklore thing? It lays the golden eggs and then it stops laying them, right?
I don't know. I don't remember the Brothers Grimm shit.
Was that a Grimm's fairy tale?
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah, that was a Grimm fairy tale. Yeah, good. I mean, I think that the lesson was that, like, you can't rely on one entity to provide your everything you need to live on for the rest of your life. So maybe it is a good metaphor as John Deere continues to lay off people by the hundreds.
Yeah, you can't put all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah,
it's another related thing, also involving fowl.
Mm-hmm. But here was the strange thing. A lot of people in town really resented those workers and their union and made it very clear they thought Deere workers were overpaid and underworked. These were working class people who felt that way. When I argued with them that those Deere wages were supporting the local economy and allowed Tripoli children to actually afford a college education and raise teacher salaries, they did not appear to agree. There simply was a resentment there that I could not understand. I believe that is a large part of the Trump base. Resentment toward others is the key. They simply do not care if they lose their health care and even a part of their lifestyle, as long as people they consider to be lesser than themselves are made to suffer. They have a lack of feeling that we are all in this together. Does that remind you of anyone we were just discussing? Like maybe Chris Coleman when he talks about homeless people in Des Moines?
Yep.
Because I did have that feeling, I openly supported Deere workers when they went on strike, and farmers when there was a farm crisis that was breaking them. But I do not think the feeling is any longer reciprocal. We have turned into tribes that get pleasure, not from their own achievements, but in the distress of others. That's written by Ronald from Tripoli in a letter to the Des Moines Register. I thought that was nice. He sees what's up.
I think that's pretty accurate, honestly. I think Matt Christman said something very similar to that, talking about that's like the affirmative reason to vote now is to punish people who don't agree with you.
Right. Yeah. Nobody sees like participation in democracy as like the potential to accomplish something positive for yourself and your community. It's more like, who do we point the gun at?
100%. I mean, does anyone see a particularly positive path forward from where we're at right now? I mean, not right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Not if we keep on doing the things the way we've been doing them.
Yeah.
And hey, I'm guilty too. Like I said, I saw that guy fall on his face and I thought it was really funny.
Yeah, true.
Let's get into like local elections. I've got a few things about local elections in here that kind of run the gamut. Let's start with this one. Are you familiar with Red Oak, the town of Red Oak?
No.
The only thing I know about Red Oak is that's where Joni Ernst is from.
Oh, right. I know it sounded familiar.
Yeah. Joni Ernst is from Red Oak.
Another 1,000 people live there?
It's another, small town. I'm not sure exactly how big Red Oak is, but yeah, probably in the thousands.
5,420 as of 2024.
Cool. So this is, thanks to Michael for bringing this one to our attention. I just saw this yesterday. It was a late addition to the episode notes. But let me tell you about a candidate who put his hat in the ring to run for mayor in Red Oak. His name is John Haysiak. Hayseed Yak. John Haysiak. I'm not sure. By the way, local elections November 4th. I believe you can vote early, probably wherever you live. So look into that. All right, this is from KMA Land, who interviewed John Haysiak about his campaign for mayor. A Red Oak resident for almost 50 years, Haysiak is a graduate of Bedford High School, a retired Iowa National Guard reserve. Haysiak spent 28 years in the military with tours of duty in Vietnam and Operation Desert Storm. He's been involved in various veterans organizations. He was on the city council. Okay, this is weird. He was elected to the Red Oak City Council's first ward seat in November of 2023, only to resign back in May. So he didn't finish his term. In his resignation letter, he cited the inability to work with City Administrator Lisa Cotter and, quote, the tension between himself and a fellow councilman as the reasons for his resignation. So now he's running for mayor. I think that's probably enough background. He was on the council. He resigned because he can't work with his fellow councilors and the city administrator. And then he's like, well, I'm going to run for mayor instead.
Yeah. If I have to work like with you, like I should be like above you. I should be the one calling the shots.
I can't be on an equal playing field with you. I want to be your boss. All right. Which brings us to the real reason I brought this guy up. This is from KJAN, which is a radio station out there. I'll just read from the start of this KJAN article. In a statement to area media this afternoon, Red Oak mayoral candidate John Haydsake, they spell it different in this article, withdrew his name from consideration for the November 4th election. Haydsake said that while it's too late to take his name off the ballot, he is no longer running for the office of mayor in Red Oak, and added his apology for what he said recently at the mayor's youth advisory council conversation with the candidates. He said he truly did not intend to offend anyone. All right, that's a great teaser.
Good opening there.
Did you, I am guessing you did not have a chance to read this one, Evan?
I did read this one.
You did read this. You did. Okay.
Yes.
So the listeners maybe don't know yet, but you and I both know. Do you think that he knew that his comments might have had the potential to offend someone?
I think he did. I mean, based on his comments, it seems like he was pretty guns blazing. I don't think he really was considering, I don't think he really cared if anyone cared to, disagreed with him.
Yeah.
Or would be offended.
So he attended like an event for candidates for mayor and city council at the local high school. So it's like high school kids and like faculty advisors or whatever asking these local candidates questions and stuff. It seems like a nice kind of event, try to get the kids involved and like actually paying attention to their local government, get a good like civics education here. The youth had an opportunity to pose questions that each candidate could answer. One of the final questions was if they were elected, how they would plan to deal with the poverty and drug use in the community. And I obviously have no experience with Red Oak. I'm not sure how big of an issue that is there, but it's a small town, rural state. I'm sure there's plenty of despair going around.
I'm gonna say it's a big issue. Without knowing anything about Red Oak, I'm guessing that it's a pretty big issue.
Yeah, it's hard to escape anywhere. And there is audio attached here, but I'm just going to read the quotes. Maybe I'll insert the audio later. I don't know. In what appears to have been unedited audio of the entire event provided anonymously to the media. Shout out to anonymous submissions to the media. We love them. We love leaks.
Good stuff.
Mayoral candidate John Haydsake responded to that question about poverty and drug use. It's a cruel fact, but people who've went through drug abuses, teenagers and young people, when they have children, they do two things. They get them involved and they steal from them.
Stealing from a baby?
Yeah, they're stealing from their own kids. Is that? It's a little odd.
I think that's what he's saying. Which I'm sure happens in some cases, but I don't know. I think a lot of people don't really want to have drug problems and really don't want to pass them on to their kids.
Sure, absolutely, yeah.
I don't think it's quite as black and white as that.
Yeah, it's it tears families apart. It is an awful thing. People get desperate. They end up stealing from each other and stuff like that. That does happen for sure. So how do we deal with the problem, John? Haydsake compared the problem to a neighborhood full of rabid cats. Whoa. Cats they're not usually big vectors for rabies, right?
I don't think so. I mean, I'm sure it's possible, but...
Yeah, I'm sure they get rabies for sure, but I've seen a lot of stray cats, and I've seen a lot of stray cats that have health problems associated with living outside. That's the theme of today's episode. Mm-hmm. But not seen a lot of rabid cats out there. So I don't think there's a lot of neighborhoods full of rabid cats.
Yeah. And also the thing is, people like cats generally. They're one of the most commonly kept pets,
Yeah. They're our companions.
if there was like a rabid cat problem in my neighborhood, I would probably feel pretty like bad about it. I would probably feel pretty sympathetic to the cats.
Totally. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Let me just keep reading what John said. Hate Sex said, but it's people become a little bit horrified when you talk about putting other people down. But life is life. You're born. You're going to live, hopefully in a good way. Then you're going to die. Nobody lives forever. The time of your death is, a lot of it's predetermined by how you grow up and act in your younger years as to how good your older years are going to be.
Okay, Joni Ernst. Joni Ernst from Red Oak. I mean, must be.
That's what we learn in Red Oak.
This kind of thinking is prevalent there.
He said that a child learns not to touch the stove because he knows it'll burn his fingers. But if he's never given that opportunity to learn, he never will. And after a certain amount of time, it's too late to try to teach him because his mindset is already set. His vision is zeroed in on what he wants to do or what he thinks he's going to do.
Okay.
So, oh my God. Yeah, this part, they have a full transcript of like his entire answer.
It's such a funny metaphor. Yeah. People, at a certain point, people will not realize that the stove is hot. They'll be so used to the fact that the stove is hot that they're no longer even getting burned. like, hold on. I think even old guys can figure out, later in life that the stove is hot. It's going to burn them. I think that's like,
He's getting mixed up here. That's like an old dog, new tricks thing is, I think, what he's saying, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, what is... You have to burn your hand on the stove to learn that the stove is hot. So you have to go to rehab when you're a kid to get a handle on your substance use? Is that what he's saying?
I guess. I don't know. I like to think that older people can change. I think they can learn. I think they can change. I think they can become better people.
Yeah.
It's
that's
hard
what
to
change.
Hope to
Takes
do.
effort.
Yeah. Instead of just keep burning my hand over and over again on the same stove.
So the first part of this article, they like zeroed in on a couple of short bits of his full answer. The transcript of the full answer actually is like way, way darker and crazy. Like, it just escalates the problem to where there's no reasonable fix-it solution other than mass extermination.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even see this. If you've got a neighborhood full of rabid cats, you go out and shoot them. Then you don't have to worry about the rabid cats. But, people become a little bit horrified when you talk about putting other people down.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, yeah, I'd say so.
You're talking about going out and you're talking about, like, eugenics. You're talking about, like, extermination camps. You're talking about Nazi stuff, man. Like, what the fuck? Of course people are horrified. What's family Christmas like for you, John? Jesus.
There's a cure, but see, yeah, there's a cure, but see, the cure just scares the living hell out of people.
Yeah, people are terrified of Robert Smith.
While they may agree with it, if you hand them a pencil and say, "Oh no, not me," I mean, they'll be for it until they get to be a part of it, and then it's a different story. So yeah, people are not, in theory, people are okay with like eugenics and just like, killing people.
Yeah. Right.
But then when they have to be the one to kill the people, then they're not really into it as much. That's a really good point, man.
Yeah.
It's so true.
What do you think he got up to in Vietnam? My God. What a terrifying man. So yeah, it's good that he's withdrawn his name from consideration to be the mayor, but he's still on the ballot. So we might see in a couple weeks, people might be really into this extermination rhetoric and actually vote for him anyway. Red Oak, the choice is yours. Do you want to vote for this psychopath or not? What else do I have about local elections? Oh, this is a very funny one. Ah, damn it, Des Moines Register, you're fucking...
Yeah, goddamn paywall.
Okay. This is from October 13th. On Monday, the Register reported this. This is Ty Theodoro who wrote this. Dozens of Iowa candidates forced off official ballots, write-in races to take place. Nearly 36 candidates across Iowa will have to undergo write-in campaigns in November's city and school elections after municipal officials failed to file candidate paperwork by a state-mandated deadline. At least 34 candidates, they say here, because of 6 city clerks and 3 school board secretaries in 7 counties missed the deadline to submit the paperwork. And Paul Pate, of course, the state secretary of state of Iowa, he's very disappointed about this. We are disappointed to hear of the errors made by multiple school board secretaries and city clerks, considering we have provided these officials with extensive training resources and conducted detailed training sessions. He's so mad at them.
He's like a teacher. He's mad that their students didn't turn in their homework. He's you.
I understand
he's
the feeling.
You, Justin.
Pate noted that just 6 city clerks made the error out of 941 Iowa cities. So that is 0.64%. Okay. And 3 school board secretaries made the error out of 325 Iowa school districts. That's 0.92% of the total. In addition to training sessions with local officials, Pate said school board secretaries and city clerks received digital copies of various guides, including a filing officer's guide, as well as copies of the affidavit of candidacy and forms for nomination petitions that local candidates must submit to get on the ballot. Well, they didn't check their email, Paul. They're very busy. Okay, they get into the specifics of who gets screwed over in this. The northwestern Iowa city of Galva in Ida County, with a population of 435, was among those to miss the deadline. 3 candidates running for city council, all incumbents running for re-election, will need to be written in.
I love that. I think all elections should just be write-in. Who needs
we
names
might as
on
well
the ballot?
Try it that way. Like, it saves time. It saves everybody some time. You know, the printers just print the same ballot everywhere. What if it's just a blank piece of paper?
That's government efficiency.
Yeah, this is Doge in action.
It's Rob Sant's pie program.
We're in dog pie.
Dog pie, delicious.
I'm still fairly new here at City Hall. Galva City Clerk and Treasurer Vanessa Harder said, I had it on my calendar for September 25th, so the councilmen weren't able to get it turned in because they were thinking they had an extra week.
Yeah, literally school homework. Like, I forgot to do the assignment. I'm sorry.
I marked it down in my calendar wrong. But I mean, this is a town of 400 people. I mean, you could knock on probably every single door in the city and just be like, hey, somebody fucked up. Just,
yeah.
Do you remember how to spell my name?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That's the only issue with the just everyone has to write in is that people who have weird names are going to be discriminated against.
Yep. That's true. It's true. Pulaski, a southeastern Iowa city in Davis County with a population of 264, had a similar issue with its mayor and city council races. It doesn't happen all the time, but it happens. We're all human. The county's deputy auditor, Deborah Jarr, said, it just happened that this city clerk made a mistake this year. It wasn't anything that they did maliciously. Oh, well, hang on. I thought it was just an accident, but now that you say that.
Yeah. I mean, to what end?
Somebody wanted to sow chaos in the town of Pulaski. Somebody has a bone to pick with the mayor. In northeastern Iowa's Fayette County, 7 candidates running for the Olwine School Board will need to be written in after the school board secretary missed the deadline. That's seven candidates running for school board. None of them will be on the ballot. If you were one of these candidates, I imagine I'd be pretty annoyed.
Yeah.
Because it's not the candidates themselves missing deadlines. It's like the people whose literal job it is to just like pass on the forms to the state.
Yeah. It reminds me of the Abby Finkenauer 2022 debacle.
Yep.
Though she ultimately won the appeal on that. So, but yeah, that was interesting. I mean, it is just a little hoop to jump through, but I mean, you gotta do it, I guess.
Yeah. it's the first test, you know. If you can't handle this, I don't know
if you're not organized enough
Congress.
to get like, I mean, how many? It's like 100 signatures. Is it even lower for like?
I don't know what it would even be for a town that small.
Yeah,
like
it's 100 for like a congressional candidate, so it's got to be smaller.
I think that's per
I'd
county,
imagine.
right? If you're running for Congress,
yes,
it's got to be spread out among the district.
Yeah, you're right. But
yeah,
then,
like
that's not that many.
God, I feel like the Coralville requirement for signatures was like 75 or something. Very, very small. So for a town of 200, it's got to be like, hey, just like get your family to sign.
I mean, if you're a school board candidate, like just go to other parents. Like I'm sure you're probably easily going to clear that many.
Yeah, get like 4 or 5 signatures at least.
Yeah.
Again, we were talking about Olwine here in Fayette County. I honestly think he just forgot. County Auditor Lori Moeller said, "We're disappointed because it's going to be a lot more work for us, our election workers, when they have to count all those."
Oh.
See, that kind of undermines our efficiency argument. After the fact, somebody has to read all that writing and decide what it says.
Yeah.
So that does kind of make the process take longer. But it's a more honest form of democracy, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Am I really expressing my desires by filling in a bubble, or am I more genuinely expressing my vote by writing out a series of letters, you know?
Yeah, definitely by writing the letters.
Yeah, I'm putting more work into my vote, and that makes it count more morally.
Mm-hmm. And then you don't have, I mean, Rob Sandage should be in favor of this, because then, you know, the parties aren't appearing on the ballots. So there's no like, oh, I'm just going to vote for the Republican or the Democrat, you know?
Yes. It's nonpartisan. It's not even identity based. You have to just literally know who you're voting for. In Iowa County, the city of Williamsburg will have write-ins for its mayoral election and 2 council member positions, according to Sarah Frick, the city clerk and treasurer. Yeah, really good. Really good. And then I have a similar story about Oxford. Yes. So the Press Citizen published a piece, find out who's running for mayor and city council seats in Johnson County. Most of it's, you know, pretty standard stuff, not that interesting. But then the town of Oxford, which is just west of me, no candidates filed for the 4 vacancies in Oxford's city offices. So this is not a procedural error. This is just nobody wanted to do it. The mayor and 3 city council seats will not have any names on the ballot this fall, and winners will be entirely based on which names are written in by residents the most. So funny. Hey, speaking of Abby Finkenauer, do you remember who she beat when she first got into Congress?
Rod Blum.
Rod Blum. Right. Okay. So I feel like this all happened between episodes. He announced that he was going to run for Congress again in the 2nd district in Iowa.
Yeah, we have not talked about it at all because he's kind of like a nobody.
He's a dud. He's nothing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm reading from Robin Opsahl in the Iowa Capitol Dispatch here. Former U.S. Rep. Rod Blum ends 2nd Congressional District campaign. So he ended the campaign before we even got a chance to mention it. It's become clear to me that I can help President Trump in other ways that are more effective than being in the U.S. House. What do you think he could do that would be more effective than actually being in Congress voting on legislation?
I don't know. I don't really know I don't know what Rod Blum is up to these days. Probably nothing great.
Yeah.
I also can't imagine that he's that close with Trump or anyone involved in the Trump administration.
No. Blum, a 70-year-old Dubuque resident, had launched his campaign September 18th, so it lasted less than a month. The former CEO and president of Eagle Point Software previously served in Congress representing Northeast Iowa from his initial 2014 election until he lost to Abby Finkenauer in 2018. So he served 2 terms. He's a software CEO. Eagle Point Software. What the hell is this?
Creator of the Pinnacle Series learning management system.
So he
is teaching people not to touch the stove with his software.
I love our country, and despite our challenges, I remain optimistic that under the president's leadership, America's best days are still to come.
Come on, man. You don't really believe that.
And it doesn't mention it in this article, but I've seen people writing about this. He was under some kind of like ethics investigation, like towards the end of his career in Congress, and the investigation ended because he lost re-election. So they didn't really have any reason to continue investigating him. So I've seen some speculation that it's like that investigation may have been reopened if he was back in Congress. So
damn.
Yeah. But I mean, George Santos just got out of prison. Like,
that's true.
Are ethics investigations like meaningful in any way at this point? Like, just do whatever you want, man. So I really wonder what he means by I can help President Trump in ways that are more effective than being in Congress. So like, you're going to like put a mask on and start showing up at people's houses or something? Like,
oh no.
What's your plan, Rod?
Oh man. No, don't do that.
Actually, speaking of the president and speaking of videos I saw on my phone, you see that AI video that Trump posted?
I saw people. I try to avoid subjecting myself to that. But yeah, I saw people talking about it where apparently he was like flying a jet, 3D modeled jet over cities and shitting on them.
Yes. So it's this is his official response to the No Kings protest. Is an AI video of him wearing a crown, flying a jet, and bombing the protests with shit, like hundreds of gallons of liquid feces. The president of the United States.
Yeah, I mean, Americans want one thing: for their enemies to be shitted upon.
You got to respect the office. You don't have to like the president, but you got to respect him because he is the president. He's in charge of all of us. He's our leader, and we need to respect him. Do you think he thinks that that's a real video that happened? I've seen speculation about that too, that he can't tell when things are AI.
I'm sure he
and he
can't.
just posts them.
That's got to be the easiest way to manipulate him. Mm-hmm. I mean, like, I'm sure his advisors are showing him AI videos all the time.
Yeah.
When he's not watching Fox News.
Oh yeah, I heard about another person who's dropping out. But let me preface it with this. Axios piece from October 15th. Jason Clayworth, our old friend at Axios. October 15th. Jackie Norris is staying in the race for U.S. Senate. Jackie Norris is the chair of the Board of Education in Des Moines, right?
Yep.
So she's been under a lot of pressure lately because of the Ian Roberts thing. She's I don't really know. I mean, they did not go to bat for him at all, really. They placed the blame on the like consulting outlets that they paid to like vet him or whatever.
Yeah. Which I mean,
let me read what
I don't know if there's really anything there, but the thing is, Republicans are still very mad about this. You can do all that. You can throw them under the bus. You can fucking, blame other people. But yeah, they're still going to be real pissed off about this because they see it as like an opening that they can exploit. And also the fact that she was Michelle Obama's like chief of staff is also really pissing them off and making them think that there's like some big conspiracy behind it all.
Yes, exactly. You
cannot appease these people.
And there are Republican legislators in the state who are seeking to like do a takeover of the Des Moines public schools. Yeah. As a result of this, it's all about dismantling public education. Of course, that's the goal, really. Okay, what was this? This is October 15th, right? So Jason Clayworth wrote, Des Moines Public Schools Board chairperson Jackie Norris tells Axios she's committed to her U.S. Senate campaign despite ongoing fallout from the district's superintendent scandal and increasing attacks from Republicans. So she's in the primary to replace Joni Ernst, along with Zach Walz, Josh Turek, Nathan Sage. I think that's all of them. I think that's all of those Democrats running in that primary. Mm-hmm. October 15th, staying in the race. And now I have a piece from October 16th. Now that's only one day later. This is again Robin Opsahl in the Iowa Capitol Dispatch. Des Moines School Board President Jackie Norris exits U.S. Senate race. Jackie Norris ended her campaign for U.S. Senate on Thursday, saying she plans to focus on efforts to investigate and bring accountability to Des Moines public schools following the immigration arrest of former Superintendent Ian Roberts. So she wants to bring accountability to who? Who needs to be held accountable?
Right. The consultants, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, I maintain my stance that, like, Ian Roberts did not hurt anyone. Like, this is not something we need to freak the fuck out about. Like,
yeah,
okay, he lied about his history, and then he was unjustly, abducted by our country's rabid and out of control immigration enforcement. And this was not a guy who was hurting anyone in the community. Anyway, I wonder what happened, though, in that one day to convince her that, okay, I got maybe a little bit too much on my plate right now.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, as soon as that story broke, it was probably put the nail in her campaign's coffin.
I don't think you can handle both these things.
I don't think it was going to happen. It was already a long shot, considering like everyone is already running for this seat. There's you got Zach Walls, you got Nathan Sage, you got Josh Turok.
Farmers over.
Real heavy hitters.
Haven't played that one in a while. Her campaign didn't seem to be getting much traction in the first place, so I don't know. I don't know, man. Good luck to Jackie, and good luck to everyone in Des Moines. Let's have a little bit of fun to end the show today. This is not super Iowa focused, and I feel like this is kind of like low-hanging fruit for a podcast to talk about. Wouldn't be surprised if we're not the only podcast this week to talk about this story. But, Evan, do you ever see cybertrucks driving around?
Occasionally.
Okay.
Actually, when I was in Iowa City last weekend,
I
was driving past the Coralville Trader Joe's, one of the most happening spots in all of Coralville.
Oh, yeah.
And I saw a Cybertruck parked in the lot.
Yeah.
And I was like, that makes sense.
Yeah, unfortunately, I see them pretty often in the Iowa City and Cedar Rapids area. I see them on the interstate in between sometimes. Mm-hmm. I have an involuntary, like, physical reaction when I see that vehicle. It's like I have to raise my middle finger to him. Like, fuck you for having that.
I do the
dumbass.
thumbs down. I do like the Caesar thumbs down.
It's just like a viscerally off-putting physical object in my vision. It's like, what the hell are you doing? You can't have that. You can't make us look at that. Fuck you. What an awful thing you have. You're proud of that. So there's a piece in Wired, came out the other day, by Zoe Schiffer, where she interviewed a bunch of people who own Cybertrucks. The headline is, "Spit on, sworn at, and undeterred. What it's like to own a Cybertruck." And the picture is pretty cool. Like, it's like a line of Cybertrucks driving on a dirt road, and the one in the front has a very cool, like, wraparound decal.
Yeah.
It looks like the background of, like, a Doom map, because
it does.
It's like a red sky with lightning.
Yeah, the Cybertruck from Mars. Oh man, I saw a picture of a Cybertruck with a Dale Earnhardt wrap the other day, which is, I don't know, that is not right. It is not something that you need to see.
Has there been like a race of Cybertrucks? That would be cool.
I'm sure someone has done that.
Yeah, somebody racing them around.
I would recommend, there's this really, I mean, he's like a shitty guy, but there's this YouTuber, Whistling Diesel, who does these videos where it just like destroys cars in his huge lot. And there's a pretty funny one about the Cybertruck. And if you want to see a Cybertruck get like completely wrecked, then that's a good video.
I really do want to see that. Aside from a MAGA hat, there's likely no object that feels more emblematic of U.S. President Donald Trump's return to the White House than the Tesla Cybertruck. The blunt angles and steel doors look futuristic for sure, but only if the future looks a lot like RoboCop. To some, it's a metallic status symbol. To others, it's fascism on wheels. Either way, heads turn. Cybertruck owners see things differently, and this is the real treat of this article is the quotes from the owners. To me, it's just a vehicle that I love, says Andrew Castillo, a stock trader from Los Angeles.
Oh boy. Target audience for sure.
That's not a job, right? It has no political affiliations at all to me. That's what Andrew says. All right, I'm going to... Oh, okay. Before I get into the quotes from the interviewees, as we're talking, a woman drives by in a small sedan. Your cars are fucking ugly, she screams before peeling off. Castillo smiles. Some people just aren't playing with the full deck of cards, he says serenely.
Some people aren't as rich and, like, some people don't have as awful of a taste as I do.
Yeah. Oh, man, all the photos in this are so funny. All these blinged out Cybertrucks. Let's hear from Michael Goldman. He's 37. He lives in Palm Springs. Job, entrepreneur. Not a job.
Not a job.
His Cybertruck has a nickname. What would you name your Cybertruck, Evan?
NA. I'm not getting a Cybertruck, so I'm not going to name it.
Oh, okay. I would name mine like toilet or something. Like,
yeah.
Cool toilet. But Michael's Cybertruck is nicknamed Beastie.
Okay.
Interviewer asks, what does your wife think about the car? Michael responds, when I first got it, my wife really made fun of me for it. She actually made a t-shirt. What?
Okay, so I found another article. I just searched for, like, see what's up with Cybertruck, because I was trying to see, like, they've, like, sold, like, way less of them than they expected to. They sold, like, 15,000 so far this year, which is, like,
I've seen
like
pictures
nothing.
of lots full of them.
Yeah. Anyway, I found another article from 2 days ago. Divorced Tesla fan admits that his Cybertruck is repulsive to women. I was married, but I'm not married anymore. Women don't like the vehicle.
What about Russ Taylor? Let's talk about Russ Taylor. He has a Cybertruck. He's 44. He lives in Ladera Ranch in Orange County, California. His job. Let's hear about Russ's job. He runs a business called Smugglers Runs.
Okay.
What? You're like a coyote? You're running people across the border in your Cybertruck? No. Smugglers Runs does post-apocalyptic off-road rallies. So he's doing like Mad Max cosplay or something?
Yeah, none of these people have real jobs.
What the fuck, man? When did you order your truck? And Russ says, when I first saw it come out, Elon Musk was like, go to cybertruck.com. Before he even finished the sentence, I was already there and put it in my reservation. I just love the style, the look. It's totally unique for sure. And obviously there's total polar opposites of people on the design scale, but I loved it. I've always been kind of a cyberpunk, so I fell in love with it right away. How do you feel about becoming a political lightning rod? Russ responds, people occasionally just flip me off or whatever, but nobody's come up to me and tried to make a statement about anything. Personally, it's kind of dumb. It's just a vehicle. So it's ironic that it would even become a political statement, but nonetheless it is. Editor's note. Taylor was arrested and pled guilty to conspiracy to obstruct an official proceeding in the January 6th attack on the Capitol. He was later pardoned by President Trump.
Oh my god. And then it says under here, wrap designed by SS Customs, which,
Yeah. His wrap, he's the one who has like the shark mouth thing.
Yeah, he's got like the A10 Warthog, like, like shark thing, which,
by SS Customs. What's SS stand for, Russ?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess
he also has,
he's
like,
got SS in his name, Russ.
He also has a wrap that makes it look like it's got like bullet holes and like it's all like all fucked up, which is also a pretty funny move.
That's probably he needs it to look like that for his post-apocalyptic off-road rallies.
Yeah, I hear you can just drive them around, and then that'll happen naturally. Like they get all rusted and corroded.
Sure, and they end up with bullet holes in them and stuff like that.
Right.
Oh my God, Frank and Diane Brabeck. So this is a couple who live in Indio, California. Frank is a consultant in the healthcare industry. Evil, skimming off the top type of job. Diane is a dog mom and former zookeeper. Cybertruck nickname, CompuTruck.
Oh my God.
That sucks. That's a terrible nickname.
Zero creativity from any of these people.
Jose Reynoso from Palm Springs. Job, small business owner. How did you feel about Elon Musk when you bought the truck? We didn't know what was coming, the storm that was coming with Elon. By then, I had already spent the money on the truck and accessories and all that, so it was sad to see that. What was sad? Well, for the CEO of a company that makes a product that a lot of Americans buy, well, no, not a lot of Americans.
Not a lot.
A lot of Americans buy and use on a daily basis to put us in the middle of everything because of his controversies. Because when everything was going on, we were the targets. We saw wives and kids being harassed and affected by strangers just because we were driving a Tesla. I mean, I don't think people are as aggressive towards just your general Tesla driver, Like I'm like, ugh, when I see a Tesla. But when I see a Cybertruck, I'm like, dude, I want to run you off the road. You fucking idiot.
I know some people who bought a Tesla, before the Elon Musk stuff really got out of hand. And they're stuck with it because the resale price has dipped. They would be underwater if they were to sell it now. And so it's fucked up. They have a suspension piece that's all fucked up and it squeaks really loudly whenever they break. And they are not able to sell it, so they put Ruth Bader Ginsburg sticker over the Tesla logo.
Oh, they come back to Andrew Castillo in Los Angeles, the stock trader from the beginning. She asked when he got the truck. I pre-ordered the Cybertruck when it was first announced. Then they released the rendering 3 months later, and I saw the way it looked, and I'm like, nope, cancel. Ugly. I'm not driving that thing around. So he canceled his pre-order, and then he turned around and actually ordered it again. You almost came to your senses. And just the Cybertruck is a lot of money. How much is that car? 6 figures something.
Yeah, it's I think it's 200,000.
That's to just frivolously change your mind repeatedly about an expense like that.
No, I'm sorry. It starts at 72,000.
Oh, okay.
Which is still absurd.
Has that come down? Because I swear it used to be more than that.
Yeah, I think it has gone down a little bit.
How do you even 72,000 is a crazy amount of money to just decide to drop, change your mind, and
the
then
insurance is also crazy high, and several companies won't even insure it because it's a fucking weapon.
Yeah.
It's high up off the ground. It has it's entirely metal surfaces. It's probably the most dangerous vehicle that you could possibly drive. Well,
check out this part. The interviewer asks, anything you don't like about it? And Andrew says, I can't really see the front out of the windshield because it's so long. And then rewind to the previous response. She says, how do you feel about it now? He says, oh, I love it. Now everything else to me, and I'm not talking down on anybody else's stuff. I still love a lot of other vehicles out there. But everything else to me, those soft lines and everything, it kind of blends together. And the Cybertruck obviously stands out. So he really wants to drive a big box with sharp angles where he can't see the front of it.
Yeah. You just want attention. Just admit it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, we take the trailer out a lot, and I can go to a campground, and there's 50 kids that come out. Cybertruck, Cybertruck, Cybertruck. I carry little toys inside the frunk.
Oh.
Frunk. So I can pass them out and give them to kids, and they love it. It's a lot of fun. So this big vehicle that he can't see the front of is surrounded by children, and he's handing them toys. A lot to be concerned about here, I'm just saying.
He can't even see the frunk from where he's sitting.
Like, you gotta be... he's gonna kill someone. I mean, what's the Cybertruck community like? When I had my Bentley and I met other people with Bentleys or Rolls Royces, it was exclusive. Dude, oh my God. You had a Rolls Royce?
Yeah.
And now you're driving this?
Major downgrade.
I've learned that with Cybertruck owners, it's like, hey, you want to see it? Come on. You want to test drive? Come on. They're more inclusive. You're going to just let some random person drive your car that you can't see the front of. He's going to run over a child. Has this already happened? Have Cybertrucks been like rolling over masses of kids already?
Probably can't see him. You can't see him from from the cockpit. Oh man, did you see this like college student confronts professor ass story from this one guy? Oh man, a while back I went into Whole Foods to drop off an Amazon package. I usually wear work boots because I do construction. So I go in and of course a lady in an electric Mustang comes out and puts this note on my car. It says, "This is an extension of your small dick." She doesn't know these cars record 24/7. So it recorded her putting the note on. And when I came out, I saw the note. Naturally, I'm looking to see who put the note on, and she's right there. I got out to her and I said, "Why do you need to put a note on my car?" That's because you're driving this and I'm offended. She called me a Nazi. So we started talking and she says, "Well, I saw you get out of your truck with your boots and you're a big white man. I guess I just assumed because Elon's a Nazi and you fit the profile." I stopped her and I was like, "My last name is Goldman. What heritage do you think that is?" She's like, "That's Jewish. My wife is Jewish." I said, "Okay, so you just
she's
accused me."
A lesbian too.
Yeah.
Jewish lesbian.
"Okay, so you just accused me of being a Nazi when I'm a Jew, and you said that your wife was Jewish, so I'm assuming you're gay. Is that a safe assumption?" She said yes, and I said, "Okay, so did you ever get profiled at any time in your life for being gay?" And she says, "Yeah, all the time. I hated it." And I was like, "Well, do you realize that you just profiled me based off the vehicle that I drive, and me wearing work boots and being a big white guy as being a Nazi when it's completely something totally different?" And she broke down in tears and apologized. I'm a huge supporter in the gay community out here, so to call me a Nazi homophobe, it just blew my mind.
When it's completely something totally different.
Yeah, it's totally something different.
My God, dude.
I'm actually Jewish, and
happened.
I actually love gay people. I'm a big supporter in the gay community.
I'm a big supporter in the gay community. There's another couple that they interviewed here, Sean and Nanette, in their 60s. They live in Palm Desert. "What do you like about the Cybertruck?" "Well, there's the quietness. It's a different feeling than a gas car. The way it rides, the instant. There's no shifting, so it's just super smooth. Instant power, instant torque." These are robot people. Those aren't real people. Can't be. Oof. Okay. Well, yeah, I think we've had our fun with those people. If you're out there, if you listen to our show and you have a Cybertruck, we would love to hear from you. Please tell us why you have that and how much you spent on it, and like if you've had any Whole Foods parking lot encounters. I do really like the thought of that guy finding a little note on his car and immediately like pulling his phone out and like scrubbing through the surveillance footage. Like, I have to find out who did this and I have to confront them now. How dare you say I have a small penis?
I mean, just the fact, that the person who did it just happened to be right there. And then I confronted them. And then I made her cry because
she cried.
And then everyone clapped.
That was like,
everyone in the parking lot clapped.
The crying, I think, was like where it went over the line. Like, dude, this didn't happen. Come on. You can't make her cry in the story. Let's wrap up the show today. Wrap it up like a big Cybertruck. We're putting on the big red sky lightning wrap.
Big rock hard Caucus wrap on the Cybertruck.
Big teeth. We did mention the local elections that are coming up November 4th. There's a few candidates that we like that seem to be pretty cool. I've interviewed a handful of them. Clara Reinen running for council in Iowa City. Go to last week's episode to hear more from her, or go to claraforiowacity.com. Here in my city of Coralville, Ryan Swenka is running for mayor. Ryan for Coralville.com. Katie Freeman is running for city council. Freeman 4, the number 4, Coralville on Instagram. Interviewed them, I don't know, maybe a month ago. You'll see it. Just scroll back in the feed. And then a guy that Evan told me about, ND Montalvo Martinez, running for city council in Des Moines. ndforthepeople.com.
Yep. That's an at-large seat, so anyone in the city can vote.
Mm-hmm. And who's the incumbent for the at-large?
Mike Simonson.
Okay, so he's one of the ones who is against the changing the homeless ordinance.
That is true.
I'm sure there's other objectionable things that he's done, though.
I'm not gonna say I'm real up to speed on him, but I do know that ND is a better candidate. And
for sure. Yeah, it doesn't have to be like doesn't have to be like a full-on 100% evil versus good thing for us to advocate for somebody who's got like a real positive vision of the future, like Andy Montalvo Martinez.
Yes.
Oh yeah, by the way, I said if you have a Cybertruck, you should get in touch with us. Do that via our phone number, 319-849-8733. Tell us about your Cybertruck. What's it look like? Why do you like it so much? You ever run over a kid with it? You can remain anonymous on the voicemail. You can admit to a vehicular manslaughter. I totally won't turn you in. But yeah, if you do leave us a voicemail, it may end up as content on Rock Hard Call Us, which you can find at patreon.com/rockhardcall. No. I knew that would happen eventually. Patreon.com/rockhardcaucus is where you can find episodes of Rock Hard Call Us. Yeah. And Evan and I just did one of those last weekend, so you can go listen to that now. The 23rd episode of Rock Hard Call Us, which we recorded together in my living room. Lots of fun stuff there. Were you going to say something? I heard you.
No, I'm sorry.
Inhale.
No, I'm sorry. I was looking up the Mike Simonson stuff, and I do remember he is, and I see in my screen here that he is a real estate developer / architectural firm owner, and apparently he owns like several like beachfront condos in Miami.
Oh. Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather not vote for someone like that, I think, if I had the opportunity.
Yeah.
On our Patreon, you can also find episodes of shows like Dough Brain Book Club, which I just recorded a new episode of last night. And what other stuff do I have going on? I recorded a new episode of I Hear I See Radio. That'll be on the free feed this Wednesday. We're going to do a Halloween episode this week, too, which will probably be on the Patreon next week, closer to Halloween. But it's, you know, good news for everyone. We're back to doing Halloween podcasts.
Yep.
Maybe we'll do another one in a year, too. I'm going to close out with some music today, local music by a local artist. If you make music, please go to rockhardcock.us, click the link near the top that says Submit Music. Send me a link to your Bandcamp or whatever. I'll buy your track. I'll play it on the show. All right? Deal? Today we're ending with the song Big Mistake by Make Belief, who sent me this note along with the track. Make Belief is Iowa City musician Skylar Peterson. The song also features Lex Leto on flute and backing vocals. Lex, of course, I've played a lot of music with them. And in addition, Skylar said, everyone should sign the petition to let the University of Iowa know that we do not welcome weapons manufacturers for Israel into our community. And there's a link to an Action Network petition, which I will include a link to in our full episode notes. It's got a couple hundred signatures right now, and it should have more. So I'll sign it too. All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks, Evan, for spending your morning with me.
Thank you, Justin, for hosting and being the best at what you do.
These are real brunch hours, so thanks for sacrificing your Sunday brunch time.
I would have been out for brunch if not for, I mean, I don't know. I had to go to the No Kings rally, and then, you know, it's brunch immediately afterwards.
Yeah, you had a late brunch yesterday. All right, thanks, everybody. See you next week.
I'm a big Push the button, Frank.